Don't be intimidated in any way by your enemies. And this will be a sign to them that they will be destroyed and that you will be saved by God Himself. That's Philippians 1:28 of the New Living Translation. And that verse stuck out with me when I was preparing for Faith-Filled Friday. And God wanted me to share with you this week to not be intimidated by the enemy, to not be intimidated and allow him to keep you from the calling that God has for you. See, in Philippians 1, Paul was talking to the church of Philippi, and he was talking to them and telling them that you have to stay together and be in good faith and spread the good news and be out there and do what God has called you to do and be strong as a church. And he was talking about how we go through struggles and how we go through things. But you have to remember, don't let the enemy intimidate you while you're out there doing what God has called you to do. Don't let the enemy intimidate you while you're going through situations and struggles, because God has you. You're saved by God. He's got you covered. Your enemies are going to be destroyed. So my encouragement to you today on this Faith-Filled Friday is to tell you to not be intimidated in any way, shape, or form of what the enemy is trying to do in your life. To do not be intimidated if he's trying to attack you in certain situations. Do not be intimidated to where it keeps you from your destiny and what God has called you to do. See, everyone has a calling and a purpose while we walk this earth, but what you must keep on doing is keep strong in your calling, keep strong in your faith, remain in one body and mind as the church of God, and begin to power forward and go forth and do what it is that He's called you to do. Fulfill your purpose. See, the word intimidation means to frighten someone or threaten someone or to deter them off of the journey that they are on. So the enemy's objective is to deter you, to threaten you, to frighten you, to keep you from achieving the calling that God has for you, to keep you from fulfilling that divine purpose, from speaking out in the areas that God has called you to speak in. See, everyone has that purpose deep down inside of them. And I'm here to encourage you today to do not be intimidated by your enemies. So whatever it is that he's trying to throw your way, don't be intimidated by it. Don't be frightened. Don't be threatened. Don't let it deter you. But you look at it and understand that whatever is in your way as a roadblock, as a stumbling block to get in the way of your divine purpose, it will be destroyed by God Himself, and you will be saved because you have God on your side. So you always have the victory. You don't ever have to worry about anything. So stop letting the enemy intimidate you and think that you can't be great. Stop letting the enemy intimidate you and think that you can't make it to where you're trying to go. Stop letting him intimidate you and put those lies in your head and make you feel like you're not going to achieve what it is that God has called you to do. Go forward. Be bold, be powerful, and understand that when you look at every single thing that tries to stop you to fulfill your divine purpose, you understand that it will be destroyed because God is on your side, saving you and keeping you and covering you and preparing you and making you who you need to be to reach your divine purpose and destination. So today's message is don't be intimidated by the enemy, but you be motivated in knowing that if he's coming at you, it means you're doing something right because you're going forward in what God has called you to do. So don't be afraid to walk in the call that God has you, them things that God has been sharing with you and telling you in your spirit to do. Walk ahead and be bold and do it. And don't let the enemy intimidate you any longer because you have the victory, you have the power, and you will see it come to pass. I hope you were blessed by this message, and I'll see you next week.